I'm gonna be doing the Read So Lit tag. It was created by Dee Dee of Brown Girl Reading, and I was tagged by Njeri of ONXY pages. So I am so excited about that, and I'm happy, and I feel so honored because Njeri thought about me. She said like, "Yo, let me tag this bitch over here. Let me tag my bitch over here. What's up?" And I was just like, I'm gagged. I'm so gagged. She gagged me when she did that. I was like, I think my armpits are sweating. Like, oh, I'm kind of warm right now because she tagged me, and I felt mad special. But we're about to do this now. We're about to do this tag. It's gonna be fun. Shout out to Dee Dee for starting this tag. Definitely check out Dee Dee's channel. I will be linking that. I'll be linking her tag video. I'll be linking Njeri's Read So Lit tag video and her channel. Definitely check out those fantastic, lovely ladies, women, people. Definitely do. So let's finally get into this tag because your girl likes to run her mouth. You know I love a talk. First question. Let me say this first. Being that the Read So Lit tag was for February, it was for Black History Month. The first question on here is, what book or books are you looking forward to reading this February in honor of Black History Month? Being that I'm doing this tag outside and like months away from Black History Month, I'm not gonna answer that question right now, but I will say for this question, I was looking forward to reading The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Souljah. The Coldest Winter Ever was one of the books that I anticipated reading again for Black History Month. I just love that book. I read it when I was a teenager. I think I read it again when I was an adult. Like, I just love the book. It's really well written. It's a really great coming of age. Read the book. I'm telling you, read the goddamn book. It's really freaking good. Share it around. Tell everybody about it. Because The Coldest Winter Ever is, like, amazing. It's a classic. It's fantastic. Like, everybody in my high school at the time was reading it. I mean, granted, I sound like Spike Lee right now. Number 2 is cite and talk about a classic Read So Lit book published before 1970 that you love. I don't have any. I haven't read anything lately that I love that was published before 1970. I will say Gentleman Jigger by Richard Bruce Nugent. I hated it though. It was alright. It wasn't that great. I didn't enjoy it as much. I kind of felt like maybe it was because of the times that it came from. It came from like the 20s, 30s or something like that. And a lot of it was just very like pretentious Negroes. And it was like a lot of big words and like long drawn out like things that are being said, which you could probably fucking like accuse me of being, I don't know, pretentious and long-winded, but I will say in reading that book, it gave me a lot of awareness of that maybe I might be a little pretentious and a little long-winded, because Lord knows I love a tangent. I'm gonna talk to my therapist about that part, but seriously, it was a really good story to read about Black gay men in the 20s kind of coming together, and just Black people coming together in Harlem, a part of Harlem Renaissance. But at the same time, its execution was not to my liking. Maybe somebody else might like it. I feel like it's a really good book to read in a college English lit class. Besides that, well, years ago, I would say a book that I guess I was enjoying. I was younger at the time, and someone just gave me this book and told me, oh, it's a really good read. Man, Child in the Promised Land by Claude Brown. I remember reading this when I was younger, and it had parts, but it's just like, it's a very, very dense book. It's not bad, but at the same time, I was also a teenager who wanted to read like about sex and drama. And this didn't have a lot of sex and drama. It was just like this man talking about his childhood growing up in I believe the 50s and 60s, moving from the South to New York City with his family and like just his time growing up in New York City and experiencing that life. I'm gonna tell you, I really don't remember anything too much that happened in this book besides like there was some lady with this Haitian lady who put the root on people. That's all I remember. I might read this again, but this is a book that came out before 1970. Number 3. What Read So Lit book would you like to see adapted to film? Okay, so I got 2. The Coldest Winter Ever. I definitely want to see that adapted. I need that fucking film adaptation. I want this to be read in high school. I don't care. This is what we wanted to read. Like in my high school, this is what we actually wanted to read in my high school. It's so good. Like I'm telling you, while we were reading like Catcher in the Rye and The Great Gatsby and The Glass Menagerie and Of Mice and Men, like outside of class, everybody in my school was reading this book. This is a book we should have been reading in high school because it's got so many great themes and lessons and just really great character, great setting, plot. It's just it's such a beautiful book. Like it deserves a movie, and it deserves more recognition. It deserves to be in the American classic literature canon. Like it's a really amazing book, and I stand this book so much. I want everybody to read it. I don't care if you come out of it liking it or disliking it. I want you to read it and speak on it. Give your opinion. Say yes, I liked it. I was a little different. I didn't care about it or whatever. I want it to be read. Like it's a really great, and I really want a movie out of it. Like a fucking budgeted, like a sickening budget. Great actors, great cinematography, great lighting, someone who knows how to shoot and light black people. Shit, Ava DuVernay should do it. I should tweet Ava DuVernay about this and be like, girl, is it possible for you to reach out to Sister Souljah and start working on adapting The Coldest Winter Ever? Because we need this. I'm sorry, we need this. This should be a 2020 fucking project, bitch. This should be a fucking 2020 project. Like, this has to be done. Holla at Netflix, holla at HBO, bitch, somebody. Make this happen. I'm here for it. Another book that I really, really want a film adaptation is B-Boy Blues. I don't like this cover though. This is not the original cover. The original cover is illustrated and it's just more interesting. It's that tarot guy from those Tyler Perry plays. I mean, he's fine though. And this guy does not look like Mitchell at all. He just doesn't give me Mitchell vibe. But either way, I would love this book to be adapted into a film. I would love it. I would love it if this was adapted into a film. It's such a great book. They were planning on adapting this like some years ago, like probably, I guess 2007, 8, 9. They were like having this big promotion about making this into a movie. But there was a stage play tour that the author did, and I enjoyed it, and it was great to see it come to life in that way. But I still would love a film adaptation of this. I really do think they should tap somebody like not Lee Daniels, Ava DuVernay, I don't know, somebody interesting, like tap what's his name from the guy who did Moonlight. I forgot his name. Barry Jenkins. Tap Barry Jenkins to film it, because he filmed fucking Moonlight and he made that pop, and he's not even a homosexual and he did it. Like, I mean, there are other gay directors who can probably do it. Get a really great director on board, whether it's a woman, whether it's a man, as long as somebody knows how to do their fucking job. Give them a fucking budget and great screenwriters. Get James Earl Hardy on the fucking phone and say, hey, come help me write this screenplay and let's get this B-Boy Blues film adaptation poppin'. We need to have this happen. This is another 2020 project. I'm here for it. Let's make it happen. I actually think I want to reread this as well. Yeah, I think this is another classic up there. This needs to be a part of the American literary canon of classic books. It needs to be up there along with The Coldest Winter Ever. Like, they need to join. Like, although this isn't as highly known as The Coldest Winter Ever is, it is very well known within the black gay community. especially in our larger cities like in Los Angeles, DC, New York, Atlanta. It's a really great read. It's a great read of like two black male leads, and it's just like all black male love. And that is something that I've heard people complain about, where it's just like there are black gay men who are not in relationships with other black gay men, but they're in relationships with like, you know, non-black men. We need the story. I want the story. I want this adapted. And I want to see this done well. And I suggest definitely reading both of them. Definitely want to see these two as films. I hope soon. Number 4. Show and talk about one of your favorite read so lit books by a male author. Again, it would have to be B-Boy Blues by James Earl Hardy. It is one of my favorite books by a male author. When I first got to America, when I first got to New York, and I was in a bookstore, I forgot how I stumbled upon this book. I don't know if I went into the African American section of the bookstore, or it was the LGBTQIA gay lesbian section of the store. And I saw this book. Not this cover, the green one with the illustration, because that one was more captivating. This is it ain't all that though. It could be better. I might actually rebuy this book just so I could get the actual better cover and not this one. I don't know why. I don't. Why is this here? Why is this going on? I don't like this cover. This is an annoying cover. But either way, this is a really great book. It's a great story. I enjoyed it. It just felt real. The writing was just real and honest and raw, and it was just not trying to be too literary, or it was just being very authentic about the voice that it was trying to convey, and it wasn't trying to be like too much of anything else but what it was supposed to be. And that's it. And I appreciated this book for that. I will say though, this book kind of gave me like a false idea of what I might really want in a man, because Raheem is almost perfect, where he's just like, he's got a fine ass body, he's like dark skin or whatever, he's just masculine and just that man, you know. But he's also like very intelligent and just very cool and calm and debonair and all these things. And it's like, I want it all, but in reality, you can't always get all those things, because you can get like handsome, debonair, and intelligent, but you might not get it as edgy as Raheem is in this book. You might be able to get like the edgy side that Raheem can give you, but it might not be as smart as you'd like it to be. It might not even be as handsome as you'd like it to be, or as hygienic as you'd like it to be. But this is definitely a book by a male author that I love. It's a really great book, and I suggest checking out and reading it. Question number 5. What Read So Lit new releases are you excited about this year? To be honest with you, I don't really have anything else besides Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tony Adeyemi. Though that is the only book that I'm looking forward to being released this year. That's probably like the only release. Children of Virtue and Vengeance is the only book that I could really think of that just comes to mind immediately that is going to be released this year. Number 6. A lot of us diehard fans refer to Toni Morrison as the Queen. You should definitely check out that Toni Morrison documentary, The Pieces I Am. Which writer do you feel would be the next queen in African American literature? I don't know. I feel weird about this question because I feel like I will say maybe Angie Thomas, or maybe Elizabeth Acevedo, or Tomi Adeyemi can be like the next African American great author, or Jacqueline Woodson. I saw her speak at BookCon. She seems like a pretty great candidate for Queen of African American Lit. Although I haven't read anything by her, I've heard great things about her. Also, Nick Stone might be another great candidate. Who knows? The opportunity for a new queen of African American literature it's possible. It might be somebody else that besides those names that I've dropped. But it's kind of like the discussion of female rappers, like who's the queen of rap. And the thing about that is there's room for all these women to be in the queens of rap and just be queens within the rap game, and it don't need to just be one, you know. So I'm thinking the same could apply for Black women writers. One of them don't have to be the queen. They can all be the queen. They'll all be the queen. They will all be the queen of African American literature. Number 7. What's the last book by an African American author you read, loved, and gave 4 or 5 stars? Easy. The Coldest Winter Ever. It's propaganda at this point. It really is propaganda. It is an agenda. Read the book. Tell everyone about it. Tell everyone to read the book. Read The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Souljah because it's so good. We have to get a movie. I want there to be a movement, a community around this book to the point that we can make it reach Sister Souljah. We can make it reach like Netflix or Ava DuVernay or whatever. And then it's like, you know, we're going to have a movie and everybody's going to be talking about this book. And then it's going to end up in high schools and then it's going to be banned because parents and, I don't know, racist people are going to be like, I don't want my kids reading about some black girl running around New York City. What the hell? Like, no, it's inappropriate. And they're going to justify, I don't know, they're going to justify it because of language or whatever. And they're probably going to abridge the book and expurgate it and put like a whole bunch of like, I don't know, just like censor the hell out of the book just to put it in high schools. Yeah, but this is definitely one of the last books that I read by an African American author that I loved and rated 4 or 5 stars. It's so good. I enjoyed it so much. And I would read it again. This is a book that definitely gets multiple rereads out of me because it's just such a fantastic read. Definitely check it out. Go for it. I mean it. I'm telling you, this is like, I am influencing you to read this. I am telling you, you have to. You tell other people to read it. If you're not ready to read, tell somebody else, like, check this book out. Tell me how it goes. You know, just anybody, just read it. Read the book. I'm telling you, read it. I mean it. Read it. Number 8, show some beautiful books by African American authors. I would say this book, because I can't think of any other books that I'm like, that really looked at the cover and been like, it's a beautiful cover. Also, Black by Kwanzaa Osejefo and Tim Smith III, and Strange Lore by Victor Kearney, both African American authors. So, and they are authors of these, I'm about to say graphic novel. I think, well, this is a graphic novel for sure. And this here is a first volume bind up of the Black comic. And I think these have like beautiful covers. They're like great standout covers. Shout out to these books. Number 9, Black History Month is about its people. What book would you like to read to learn more about African Americans? I would say maybe one of Jacqueline Woodson's books. And also definitely Toni Morrison. I've heard great things about her. I definitely want to get immersed in the Toni Morrison experience. Also, Octavia Butler, books by Octavia Butler's books. I've heard so many great things about Octavia Butler, so I definitely want to read her book as well. Also, N.K. Jemisin. I just heard this podcast episode where she talked about world building, and it's got me even more excited about wanting to read her books and get invested and immersed in her novels. Number 10. It says show what you're currently reading for your Read So Lit TBR. Because it is not Black History Month, and it is not, and I'm not reading a Read So Lit TBR at the moment, I'll definitely save this and tagging 5 people or more to next year when February, when Black History Month comes around again and we're doing Read So Lit and Blackathon. I will definitely have that on tap with names of people to tag, as well as like my TBR for Read So Lit. That was me doing the Read So Lit tag. And if you feel moved to do any of the prompts in this tag while it's not Black History Month, or while Read So Lit is not currently going on, you should definitely go ahead, do it. Make sure you tag and shout out Dee Dee at Brown Girl Reading. Yeah, make sure you let her know that, hey girl, I'm doing the tag. Say hi to Dee Dee. Check out her doing the Read So Lit tag. And you might get some really great book recommendations from her. If you got something to say, definitely say something in the comments. Bye until the next time.